Alrighty, y'all. So K is finally out. I have a multi, so we're gonna do this multi. If you're wondering, Zxous, why are you gonna do this multi? Stellar Blade is coming. Well, one, when Stellar Blade, before Stellar Blade ends, I'll probably get the Stellar Blade character. Like, I'll probably spend money. I spend money for collab characters, so I'm not worried about that. Anyway, let's do one multi, see if we can get K. If not, then we'll get into her showcase and stuff like that. Obviously, K seems to be a decent character, but not anything that anybody needs to have day one. K, first multi. Well, let's see if I can one tap. I think K is a character that I deserve, genuinely, just because I've been waiting for her for too long. Elysion, come on. We love to see it. We love to see it. We love to see it. Let me go ahead and build her up, and we're gonna do a showcase for her. Give me a second. Alright, y'all, well, we have a multi here as well, so we might as well go ahead and put thing here. I just want to see, is there anybody I'm missing? I don't think they added Arcana here, so no. Okay, let's go ahead and do a multi here. Since I have a multi here, might as well get it in the video. I'm gonna build up K and all that stuff. Can I get masked? No, it's okay. I'm not tripping. I don't have masked. I have anchor, but I don't have masked. Okay. Alright, so I have K. I gave her full Elysion gear besides the last piece because that doesn't really matter for damage. I did give her a freaking collection of them because why not? 555 and then a Resilience Cube. We're gonna go ahead and try this character out. Basically, from what I'm getting, K seems to be like a crit based character, right? So if you want me to go over her kit again, I can. Let me actually do that for you guys. Let me just take you out and put K in. Where are you, K? Here, I'm gonna just go over her kit for you guys again for anybody who's wondering. So basically, when firing the last bullet, she will give herself a crit rate buff of 0.58% at level 5, and that can stack up to 100 times, right? But every time she lands the last bullet, she'll actually give herself 19 of those stacks as well. So essentially 20, right? I assume when she gets the last bullet, she'll give herself one from just a original tilted skill, and then the stat count of tilted skill should increase by 19 as well, so that would be 20 every last bullet, right? It says activates when pellet lands critical hits 4 times, that she will deal an additional damage of 18% of final attack as additional damage, and when a full burst ends, she will remove tilted skill, and then you will just have to basically restart of your stat count, whatever, right? Skill 2 activates when gaining tilted skill affects all allies. They will get an attack damage buff of 8% for 10 seconds, and then their ammo capacity will decrease by 39% for 10 seconds, and this similar effect cannot stack. So what that means is a description used for effects that do not stack. For example, when max ammo capacity decreases, effect from privity skill when it's activated, K's max ammo capacity decrease effect will not be activated. So only one character on the team can have that, which is quite unfortunate. I mean, not necessarily, because Summer Niece gives this to herself, right? So I'm sure they wouldn't like remove Summer Niece's ability to give that to herself. I don't think that's fair, but it is what it is. Anyways, when you use her and then when the full burst ends, the righteousness will be removed, and righteousness is obviously this stuff right here on skill 2. And then when you use her burst skill, she'll change into a shotgun character, deal 71% of final attack as damage, and then her attack speed will decrease by 90%, but she will have a 16% attack damage buff and a 48% attack buff of the casted attack. So we're gonna go ahead and put her a team for her. A Summer Niece is going to be on that team. I think I'm just gonna try her with this team right here. Nobody here gives ammo capacity, right, which is good. Oh, I think you do, right? I'm not sure. Do you? No, you don't give ammo capacity. That's good, right? And then obviously with Helm has, you know, the crit rate of normal attacks, so that's going to be very helpful. So let's go ahead, try this team out, go against a boss and see what K is doing for us. Is K going to be popping off like she should be? Is K going to be doing is she going to be doing damage? I think I am happy about getting K, just because like K is a character I have been asking for a long time. This is like the second character that I've been asking for a long time. Iron was number 1 and Iron was good. Hopefully K is good as well. So you can see she's getting a decent amount of crits off, not too much, but we'll take a look now. So we use her burst skill, right? We're at 4.3 million. I just want to see something. Where is tilted skill? I don't see her tilted skill effect or skills of righteousness. I don't see that on her, which is, I guess the last bullet has to hit for her to get that off, right? Boom, 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 boom. So I guess you would want her at like the second burst 3 unit or the first one. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, I guess so. 44 million, but she's still doing less than my Little Mermaid, which is kind of concerning. But it's okay, I guess. And then here goes Summer Niece, right? So this is what I want to say, right? What does Summer Niece have for herself? So does Summer Niece have any of K's effects? It doesn't look like it, because remember, Summer Niece does have ammo capacity decrease for herself. So Sparkling Wave, she has that for herself. And then K won't give this up though. K won't give this up. But this only activates when tilted skill activates, and we don't have that activated right now, right? So I think I might have to put K at like the sec. Okay, let's see. So the last bullet just hit, right? Reload speed instantly. Last bullet just hit. So now K should have her tilted skill, right? Which she does right here, right? It's this right here. Does Summer Niece end up getting this as well? She does, but it's not activated, and that's only because she has her own. So I'm glad that they don't overwrite Summer Niece's 4Ks, just because K's is a lot less than what Summer Niece already had. But yeah, K is not doing as much damage. I think you would want to use K as the second burst 3 character on the team. Because what are we at right now for our stacks? Sorry. What are we at right now for our stacks? Does it show? It doesn't show, and that's because the full burst ended. So I'm not sure. I feel like they want you to do so much with K in such a short amount of time, but it's quite impossible, because no matter if you use her burst skill first or second, all her stuff goes away when a full burst ends. So it's like you're not gonna have enough time to stack up, not with this character at least. Unless, actually, I think, who was it? I think it's Flora. I can put her with Flora. Flora's a character that does help out with stacking and stuff like that. Not like too much, but she does help out with stacking. I'm not gonna lie though, K looks like she could do damage, right? Like K does look like she can do damage. Just nothing too crazy though, right? I know I'm comparing her to a 10-10-10 fully invested overload Summer Niece, but K needs to do a somewhat decent damage, especially with this team. We're rocking Crown, Helm, and Little Mermaid. Not to mention K has her best buffer beside her. So it's like there should be no excuse of why K is hitting so low, right? And again, I think the biggest problem with K so far is the fact that she doesn't have time to like at least fully stack up and stuff like that, because she needs to be landing the last bullet, right? And maybe I can try her out with Privity if that helps, but she needs to be landing the last bullet, right? The only issue is when the full burst ends, she loses like her first and second skill, and it has to reapply. So I guess because of this team specifically with the burst generation and how fast you're getting back into a burst skill and stuff like that, you're not necessarily ending, you know what I mean? Like your full burst is not ending that quickly. Or you're not just like, you're not stacking quickly. Well, she's at 20 stacks right now, right? She's at 20 stacks right now of this righteousness right here, as you guys see, right? We just got into another full burst, because I guess when the full burst ended there, you guys seen her bullet ended there right there. But now we're using her burst skill, shotgun character by the way. And she still has her stacks, right? 20 stacks, where her crit rate is increased. So is her crit rate only going to be increased by like 20? Because now the full burst end there, and boom, now the 20 is gone. It has to reapply. And then when this hits 0, which is going to hit 0 right now. Oh no, ammo capacity went up by someone. Hold on. Somebody increased their ammo capacity with their burst skill. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna switch this team off. My thing is, who should I use then for that burst 1? Because Litter is another character who increases ammo capacity, and I don't want to use Litter. I think I might put Dorothy. Dorothy doesn't necessarily increase ammo capacity, but she also has an effect with the lowest bullet. And I think I might take Helm off the team, genuinely, and I might put in Prudy. All right, let's put in Privity with this team to see what we can get going with this team. and then I guess I can keep crown. I don't necessarily need to, or even what's her name, favorite item Exia. I have her full favorite item. I do, yeah. I could use her as well for just a quick buff and stuff like that, but I think I'll leave Dorothy in there for now, right? And try this team right here. Am I proud of what D is doing? No. Can you see D probably hit hard? Like, I'm sure you could probably build, I keep saying D, my bad. K, not D, K. Can you see K hit hard if you like fully invest into it? Maybe, right? But here, so we hit our last bullet right now, right? And we reloaded. I don't know why I said 900 there, right? But we should be at, no, I guess we didn't. So she went to her next weapon, which is, I feel like you should have her, her thing second, right? I feel like you should have her, I mean, I don't think it matters actually, because look now, okay, here, we're at 0, right? There's 0, so that just reset, right? Quickly. We're at 20 stacks right now for Skills of Righteousness. Because I have Privity on the team, boom, we're at 40 stacks right now. Boom, we're at 60 stacks right now. Boom, we're at fucking, I mean, flipping, we're at 80 stacks right now. So you probably want to have Privity. You want Privity on the team. And then boom, right? That brings us back to 20. Because we just ended it there. So my thing is, do I even want to use her burst skill? Because I could have this on continuously. Right, like the crit rate, I could have that on continuously, because I think, do I even want to use her as a burst 3 like on the field? Because I can have it on continuously until the full burst ends, but at least I'll have my crit rate up and stuff like that. Because now when I'm using her burst skill, because remember her thing just ends with a full burst ends, like I think, okay, let me come back to this. Let me switch her and I'll put Summerny second or first. Let me do it like this. I want to see, is it better to use her as a second burst skill on the team? Just because it's like, my whole thing is when you use her burst skill, you want to probably maximize her first and second skill, right? You want to have as much crit as possible. You want to have all these extra stuff. You want these things, right? Otherwise, then I see no point of wanting to like aim for that stuff and you don't even, you know what I mean? So here, our last bullet just hit. Boom. That's our last bullet right there. Now we're at 20 stacks. Now we're at 40 stacks. Now we're at 60 stacks. Now we're at 80 stacks. Right? We are at 80 stacks. Well, it's gone now because the full burst just ended. Right? Now we're at 20 stacks again. Now we're at 40 stacks. And this is what I mean. Like, okay, so now we're at what? We should be at 40 stacks. Where is it? So we're not even at 40 stacks now. Oh yeah, we are. We're at 20 stacks. So I don't see necessarily why I would want to use K. Like I don't see why, because it's physically impossible for me to have K's full 100% or 100 stacks. Like, it's not impossible. I can make teams that help me increase my stack count and all that stuff. And even if I was like 10 10 10, you probably want to fully invest into this character, right? Because if I ran this full team with scope lock on, then it would be a different story, right? My whole thing is, when you're fully stacked up, then and only then will K probably pop off. So I think we're gonna have to go into scope lock. I'm gonna have to probably cut this one up. We'll go to 2 minutes and see how well they do within a minute, or after this full burst ends. We'll let this full burst rock, see how much they do, and then I'm gonna go on scope lock. Cause okay, it seems like you're gonna want to have to fully invest into this character, which I obviously would not recommend to fully invest into a character like this right now. Unfortunately, Eve is coming, but to be type advantage and to still hit that low, considering you had all, like, even if she goes 5/5, she still had a lot of build in her, like a decent amount of builds in her with her gear and her collection like that, and her cube. Her cube is fully maxed out, right? But here where she's 10 10 10, getting those, I guess, stacks are gonna be a lot easier because we're a lot higher now, right? So like for example, we hit 0, right? K now is at 30 stacks. So 30 stacks. Now we're at 60 stacks. Now we're at 90 stacks. And now we're at 100 stacks, which is weird because when we hit 100 stacks, it goes away when the full burst ends. You get what I mean? So this is what I don't like, because it's like when you use her burst skill. Okay, let's see. We're at 30 stacks right now. Okay, so we're at 30 stacks. There's her burst skill, boom. You can see she's critting a lot, right? She's critting a lot. And you know what's so crazy? Mask and Anchor literally have like Mask is permanent crit rate, which would be good for this character. Not necessarily, you don't want her to, like, I mean, I don't want to say you don't want her to be fully stacked, but you don't need K to be fully stacked up. Genuinely, like, K does not need to be fully stacked up, because all she's getting is a crit rate buff. Like, if you're not fully stacked up, it is what it is. She doesn't need to be fully stacked up, but like, if you look at her numbers now after her burst skill, it's close to Summer Nice's, but Summer Nice is still obviously hitting harder and stuff like that. I just don't really like how all her effects kind of go away when you like enter a full burst. But like I said, the crit rate buff, there's no way they were gonna make her crit rates permanent, essentially. So it's not that bad. Like, she's critting a lot here, yeah, but her crits are not, like, you know, it's not that bad. Her damage is okay, I guess. It's not anything too crazy. I'm kind of disappointed, but it is what it is. Like, I think after 2.5 years, I mean, I couldn't expect anything more, but yeah, she's not that crazy. Like, her damage is just not good enough for me. Cause look at Summer Nice's and look at K's damage. Like, Summer Nice is a support, and I know Summer Nice has Privity on the team, and whatever buff she's getting from K, but it's like Summer Nice and K basically want the same type of buffs and supports, and they're getting that, right? I don't even need to have Dorothy on this team, realistically. I don't need to have Dorothy on this team, but you can't use her with Litter, because Litter has max ammo capacity, and you cannot use this character with Little Mermaid because Little Mermaid reloads magazines, right? So the two best burst 1 characters you can't use her with. You can probably use her with Rappy, but Rappy is not giving that much of a buff toward like K, where K is gonna jump up exponentially. You know what I mean? So I am a bit disappointed, and I think I'm just really disappointed because it's like, again, you don't necessarily need to have, like, we're at 60 stacks right now, right? And the full burst just started. We're at 60 stacks right now, the full burst just started. Boom. Now we're at 90 stacks. And I think now we're at 100 stacks, right? Okay, let me see. Now we're fully stacked up, right? All that gives us is 75% crit rate to our normal attacks. But the thing is, the moment we have 100 stacks, because the full burst ends, and we go back to K, it disappears. It's so shit. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't like that. What's the point of stacking up to 100 when the time you get there, it's gone? But like I said, the crit rate isn't like anything. It's not like she has anything in her kit that says, oh, you need to be fully stacked up on tilted skills for her to like perform. You know what I mean? It's just having that 100% stack, or having that like full 100 stacks being fully stacked up is like very, very helpful, because that's a lot of crit rate, right? Especially for a character who wants to crit and stuff like that. I think if you were to run her with crit damage supporters and stuff like that, like, honestly, Mask and Anchor might be this character's best friend, support wise. I don't know if they have ammo capacity. I can take a look in a second. But is her damage good? Like, her damage isn't bad. You know what I mean? Like, if I was to fully invest into K, fully invest into Summer Nice, and have the right gear and stuff like that for them, right stat lines, fully invested and stuff like that, I would expect to be like 100 million difference from Summer Nice and K. You know what I mean? I would expect 100 million difference. So it's not too bad. It's just not anything anybody needs. Like, you know what I mean? If you fully invest into K and fully invest into Summer Nice, then by all means you could probably use these two on a team and probably get somewhere. But if not, then no, I would not recommend anybody to invest into this character when we have a not Evangelion, Stellar Blade collab coming out soon. But yeah, like 404 million to 564 million, like it's a 160 million difference, but it's still like, you know, I would say that's decent enough for me, right? So I think with the right team, with the right support, K could probably hit hard, and you guys will probably see one of those videos from me within either today or tomorrow. Expect like one of those videos where I just make this character pop the hell off, trust me. But other than that, I mean, it's probably not going to be the best idea to invest or get this character right now. Put it on the wish list. It's your boy Zxous, I'm out. Peace.